Low-key, I kind of hate this time. Not because of the holidays. It's when you have to say goodbye to a series, man. When you reach that final episode, you have to say farewell because you don't know if it has the potential to get another season. And unfortunately, we have come to that time for Dark Gathering, okay? Jump Fest happened a week ago, but there was no announcements for season 2. Simply because there's not enough material from the manga to adapt for another 24-25 episode season, okay? But for what it's worth, this was a ride, guys. I enjoyed everything from episode 1, and I'm going to definitely enjoy today's final episode. So if you remember from last week, we basically have a declaration of war. Might I add, how dare they end it on a declaration of war this season? Okay, now you're telling me to go read the manga, which I have no problems of doing, but you're telling me you're going to end the season off on that? I've never seen that in anime. And I've been watching anime for years. Okay? So there's going to be definitely a declaration of war between spiritualists, Ice God, and of course the body snatching spirits who are plotting, also using Spectre of Death. And now we have our main characters that have to be able to fight off all these opposing sides, while at the same time getting others to join them in this battle. So guys, without further ado, let's get into season 1 finale of Dark Gathering, episode 25. Dang, she called immediately. Yeah, and everybody else on that train died. Yeah. That's not lucky. Yeah, because her god and Spectre of Death were duking it out, bro. Like, she really is unlucky, unfortunately. Like, she's going to get saved because the god has plans for her to make her his bride. You know, she is unlucky because people who's close to her ends up in unfortunate events. As she should. Send the location. Yeah. Why you put it? No, girl. Why you put up spy camera? How much cameras is in the house? You know, low key, she's going to use her to all spy on him. She's the only one that can see the cameras, huh? 90% chance things get ugly. Okay. Bring 3 graduate. Actually, bring 6 with you. You're gonna need more than 3 this time. 12. Oh yeah. Oh, you guys have set. Oh yeah, because the little boy's the last of the evil tongue. Imprisoned martyr. Or on the soul sucking courtesan. Okay. Castle H. Oh yeah, I forgot they got Ko, the face stealer. So wait, my dude in the alien, he's a graduate too. Weakening abilities, okay. No time to look at, okay. So we're placing a curtain on Kyoto, okay. That curse that covers the entire city. What the heck? This is Shibu again? But in Kyoto, oh no! Stop! 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 Drawn onto it and a substitute for the city of Kyoto. The curse awakens. Okay, okay. So reverse. Transferring the damage from the city to the god. Oh, okay. Yeah. Completely. Okay, okay. How the heck are you gonna carve it into the god's flesh though? Be healed. Right. Over Kyoto, the effects get channeled into the city's substitute. Gravity down into the substitute mark. With a curse powerful and level the city. Whoa! Right! My thing is like how they're gonna use the OP. I guess the OP is gonna be wrapped around the substitute curse. F Park, Diamond Shrine, T Tunnel, A Damn Jesus. National Oof. Wow, would right. All of this to take on a god, bro. Like, She's saying, "Are you guys willing to go?" Yeah, you're just 9. All this to defeat the god, bro. That's how you know he mad dangerous. Oh, she's showing her Anna. Mm. No, it's perfect. Okay. What do you mean hire her into yourself? What? Don't tell me she's gonna show her the surveillance in her. What's it? What is that? With 3D print? With a 3D printer? Yo, she thought ahead. Nah, when you produce that much, nah. Jesus Christ. And they still have to deal with their curses as well. Jesus Christ. Jesus. She's having a dream of her being a bride. This is gonna be a nightmare. I know it for sure. I knew it was gonna turn into a nightmare. Don't tell me it was her aunt that was taken first before her. Ooh. She's forgetting everyone in. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh God. Dang. Oh God, y'all need to save her, bro. That's literally her faith. Oh, I feel so bad for her, bro. Jesus Christ. Oh. Graduate deployment care. Oh, okay. Okay. Hmm. Yo, they are really preparing themselves for this. Oh, you gave her. Oh, I forgot. Like, you have to give her some sake, bro. Or refill her glass. Yo, Castle Life is the best. Oh, we're back. We're back at the dorm. Oh God. Mm. You know who he looked like? That grandma from SpongeBob. That old wrinkly fish who believe chocolate will give her good skin and revive her youth. They're going to Kyoto too. No! They're going to Kyoto too. Oh god, the battlefield's in Kyoto. Even he's saying goes to. Oh god. Oh god. Why they gotta end it off like this, man? Ugh. You look like you should have been 6 feet under already. Yo, Shami's getting the recruits. Damn. Jesus Christ. Why they gotta end it here? So, first and foremost, I have to give my rating, bro. And I'm going to give Dark Gathering Season 1. Drumroll. Or fingers. A 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10. The reason why it's not getting a 10 out of 10, I don't know if we're going to get a season 2. And I'm mad that it ended, right? So I personally may end up just reading the manga for myself. Will I be creeped out more by the manga? Because you know, sometimes anime does fluff things up, so it really depends. But if you guys do know what chapter this episode last adapted from, I'll just start from there. But bro, as I stated from last week's episode 24, this is an all-out war at this point, right? So we have the Body Snatchers versus Eyes God and Spectre of Death, who also got an upgrade facing against Eyes God during that train derailment that killed several passengers. And Eyes God decided, hey, I'm going to give you a word of advice. And so Spectre of Death upgraded itself once it learned how to control its telekinesis powers and such, right? But what was most surprising in this episode was seeing Yayoi, and we know her whole mission from episode 1 was to deal with Spectre of Death for taking away her mother, right? Her deceased mother. And to see that instead of going straight to Spectre of Death, which they can deal with before it gets even stronger, they decide to face with God, which contextual wise, I say that's the smartest move they can do, because by dealing with Eyes God, then they can deal with the body snatchers, and they already have everything needed to deal with them because they are now in physical bodies, so they can be captured on camera. Even if they are to leave the physical body, the fact that they came in premises around where they live, they will have been caught. And also because of the talisman, they're taking one with them while leaving one back at the dorm where most of the graduates were staying. So they'll know that if they take one of them, okay, and Maidaya, they went into the scene where they were talking, the body snatchers were talking about that she was bringing one of the talismans with her, right? So she already knew their plan. So hence why Eiko and Keitaro made the plans that they did. It's good to see where now, as the episodes go by and we got more into story lore, not to say the first few episodes, like the first 12 or so didn't, but it was like Monster of the Week, but it was like, it felt like Pokemon, gotta catch them all, but it was for the sake, because now we're diving into the more serious story content where we have to deal with entities that can potentially murk how much humans they want, possibly, right? And so the biggest problem we have, obviously, are the at least 4 elements. Obviously, Eyes God is the biggest problem, because that's not just a regular spirit, that's a deity. Okay? You have to go kill a god. And Yayoi, I hope they do, as when I'm planning to go read the manga after this, I hope they explain what god did Yayoi particularly face off, that she had to use 3 graduates to deal with that particular god. Okay, and obviously now that she has to deal with Eyes God, she's gonna have to use all 7, and if it's possible for her to get more graduates along the way. Okay, but I also like how they explain, like, I know I brought up jujutsu, but it's literally like that. Like, they're going to cloak Kyoto. Okay, just like how they did with Shibuya, they're gonna make sure everybody else gets out the vicinity, because once they place down that cloak to capture the god within that particular area by creating a star and a hexagon, and by using Castle H to basically reverse the curse. So instead of the human dealing with it, instead it's gonna go through the talisman that they have, the paper talisman, and then revert back to the god. And by marking an inverse symbol of the god, because he has a star, his star symbol represents him. So by doing an inverse of it and placing on there, and by using Castle H Obi, which is connected to her, because she, along with Sugimoto, I would like to call him, are going to be basically the defenses on the outside. So they're going to be cloaking the area where they're going to be in Kyoto, and cloaking that particular area that's going to trap Eyes God, so they can face off against him, and then have all the other graduates be on the offense, while also having an army behind them. So by going to those 5 different locations all in Kyoto, remember, don't forget, All-Star Japan tour trip for strong ghosts, strong spirits, that still hasn't gone away. But because we have this major problem, they're just like, let's just go to these 5 locations, gather whatever strong spiritual spirits that we can gather, and then use them for Kyoto, because that's where I is, right? So I was like, oh no, this is going to, I hope it don't turn into that, because it's going to be it's going to be worse, because this is horror centric, right? So they're going to have to find a way to make people basically abandon that central part of Kyoto, so they don't get caught up in the fight, because then it's gonna look like a Sukuna versus Jogo versus Maharaga type situation, and they're gonna have a dent, a hole, if you will. Okay, so it's gonna be an all-out battle, because it's not only them versus Eyes God, but we now have the body snatchers coming to Kyoto as well. And if Spectre of Death gets word of this somehow, some way, or feels whatever it's feeling, this is going to be bad. Oh, and they had to leave it off here, bro. Do y'all not understand the frustrations I'm having currently right now? They left it off on just the very beginning of a war that's going to take place. I mean, they're building up, they're making their own talismans, body talismans. Aiko created that by using her 3D printers so they can regenerate at any time despite the damage they can make. And obviously Keitaro decided to make cages that can work remotely with also, you know, wire and rope that has been enchanted to keep the ghosts inside these cages. And more so the graduates, once they're done being used, and then put them back there so they can bring them back to the dorms and everything until they are needed next time. Oh, I am just so mad right now. And I just feel so sorry for Ai, because it's like she's 16 and it's getting closer and closer to the date that the god is going to fulfill his promise and then take her as his bride. aka he's just going to kill her and eat her, okay, and just take her face as many others until he finds his next target. And from the looks of it, it looked like before it was her aunt. Now that could be just a dream to reflect it was her, but if that was the case, it looks like this god in particular, unless I'm forgetting, it's because it has been a minute since those episodes last aired, but I guess this god particularly likes her family for whatever. No, they did mention, I believe they said that he has a connection with her family. There was some type of promise or something of that sort, and that's the reason many of the women in the family ends up perishing or something of that sort. And the last person before I was her aunt, who died many years ago, okay. But yeah, they need to save her. They need to deal with the body snatchers, and then finally, actually not even finally, they deal with Spectre of Death, and something tells me they're gonna have to possibly face another god, the god that placed the curse on Aiko and Keitaro. So that's probably a side quest, because that curse that's been placed on them was strong enough to inflict the nerves and all of that stuff, and particularly that spirit or that god that did do that is powerful enough to do that to them, that they're still dealing with the lingering effects. So that's another problem that they have to deal with. But this was a phenomenal season. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. The only downside that it's ended. But guys, do tell me in the comment section below on how you felt about Dark Gathering in its total. What were some of your favorite episodes? Who are some of your favorite characters? My favorite character, of course, is Yo-Yo. that little girl is, you don't see that often. But she's definitely my favorite character. Aiko, I love her, but she's the true definition of a yandere, bro. She is. She's a good person, but whoo, that creepiness. And Keitaro, I expect far more with his growth, from that really scaredy cat in the beginning to who he is by the end of season 1, to see that despite his fears he still moves forward. I love that growth for him, man. But yeah, I'm gonna continue by going on to read the manga. If you guys know what chapter, again, do drop in a comment section below that the chapter that this episode adapted from, so I can start reading the manga. The links are in the description box. You guys can go check them out. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.